And we're live on a Tuesday. God who gives us strength in our Mars day. Holla at you, girl. I am the High Priestess Phoenix. I am your spiritual healer, teacher, shaman, seer, oracle, lightworker, starseed, earth angel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch, yogi, guru, and messenger of God. Here on another glorious day that God has given us. What's up, everyone? Hey, we have a couple of new people. Round of applause for the new people. Hope I can get you through the dark night of your soul. Realistically, all I do is guide you. You are supposed to be triggered by my videos into your own self-healing journey, which I take you through on my journey. Welcome to the jungle. What's up? So, in order to keep up with me, you would have had to capture some videos and some shit I posted before this. I'm going completely blank as to what that is, but we still have yesterday's fucking cards we're still working through, so that's what I know for show for show. We're gonna pull out that Kabbalah card we never pulled out, and I'm gonna do a spiritual growth spread. God is gloriously good. I posted that I had gotten an extension on my room, but then my freaking car note came through, which typically what they let me do, what was that? Typically they let me carry over any leftovers and just work it off that week, but they didn't let me do it this week. They want me to pay it all up. Was what I had posted, and I was like, watch, God is great. He'll figure this out before I even have to figure it out. And he sure did. I sent a text message to Ray because I still have his money. I haven't paid him. I was like, Ray, all I got is your money. You think you can help me? I can hold on to that a little longer. He's like, yeah, I'll give you a call. He's like, do what you gotta do. I'll call you on my break. And then I was like, well, let me call Taz because I drive for her daily and she gives me daily cash. So that was like, well, we'll figure this out. And she's like, yeah, I got you. Let me know what's up. And then Ray called me back and he's like, if all you need is another $60, just come get that and just we'll move the cars and fuck it. We'll figure it out whenever we figure it out. And that was cool because, like I said in my video yesterday, and I brought it to Taz's last night. I was sitting with Taz and she didn't know that we were supposedly going to check out. And I was like, yeah, but don't worry, God's got us. I was like, because she's got a bigger situation than everybody's got their own situation, bro. It's just a situation. We're all going through situations, unforeseen towers that really just came through. Anyway, so, that was a blessing. I told her that, God would come through. And that's just what we do. And so that was cool. I just wanted to post that because, you can sit there stressing or you can sit there, faithing. I said that yesterday. Faith your way to hope. You know what I mean? Or hope your way to faith is really what it is. You just keep hoping. I hope you're going to do this. I hope you got me. I hope you got me. I hope you got me. And then until you hope. That's how that goes. And so, yeah, I got all that taken care of. So that's a wonderful day in the neighborhood. And again, I'm going through like a finals week. Eventually, I'm building up to doing a love reading and seeing if I can do this without getting triggered and all emotionally unstable in the situation. Why is love so difficult? I am the Lilith, and I'm here to be an expression of unconditional love. So ultimately, that's what we're working on is, me not getting in the way of when God wants me to love somebody. It's like, I don't want to. So we're working on that. And we're kind of going to go from there. So I don't know. We're just going to go from there. We're going to pull a Kabbalah card at the end, and we're going to check our spiritual growth. As far as that, the cool thing about them not carrying over my leftovers is that I lowered my payments by switching to Geico. Some bullshit I heard in my head, some kind of something. I lowered my payments. So that means that if I pay all this shit off, ultimately still got to pay it somewhere. Pay it down the line. Pay the piper is what I heard. But, all I have to do is pull off a little bit this week, and then I can just, pay everything off this week and start from zero. It's better to be at zero than, owing some shit. I don't like owing no shit. So it's like better, let me just pay all this shit off real quick and just get it done. So that's cool, because the sun will come out tomorrow. Sorry, it's at the bottom of the deck. So, yeah, That's what I said in my video. It's like, we don't know what God's doing. I don't fucking know what God's doing. I don't know what I'm supposed to do until he tells me what to do, and then I do the shit. And the universe popped out. Well, we already know that's where we're at. Let's just talk about where we're at. Our current energy is the universe. What is that? The world card in your tarot? In your tarot. Somebody's got a big old loud ass truck. Alright, the goddess depicted on this card holds a circle, which is the symbol of wholeness, continuity, eternity, and the absence of time and space. That's what I posted. I was like, as you can see, I have more time, but I'm out of time. But it doesn't matter, because I know the Father of time. And though he waits till the last minute, he's never late. And that's it, your concept of time. That's what was the whole point of it, is like you're going to waste all your days worrying about the future. In the essence that the future is ever changing every day. Just chill. As it signifies what is complete and unbroken, it also represents deity and the everlasting love. However, the circle can be divided, halved, and quartered, and separated into degrees. I'm seeing the twin flames. I love them. All different types of way, and it's unconditional, and it's unconventional, and it's unbelievable to, those of the small mind. But it's all different types of love, and it's unconditional love that I have for each of them on a whole different spectrum of love. That's why I was like, love, it's so expensive. But far from representing disillusion or imperfection, when these fractions are contained within the circle, they signify a balance of harmony such as divisions, with all the lessons of the four elements integrated into the equilibrium. And that's what you take. Okay, so this is the last card. We started as a journey. It talks about the Fool, right? And you start with the elements. There's an intro to it. You know what I mean? Your swords, it says, is your intellect. And then it goes into your wands, which is your drive. Right? Let me see. Right? Swords. Or your will. Right? And then it goes into your cups, which is your emotions. After you put together, which is your mind, your body, and your spirit, is really what that means. You're putting your mind, your will is your will to push yourself. Right? That movement, it's all about action. And then your cups, your emotions. When you align that, then you get into your coins, your pinnacles, which is reality. You start moving in all of this. Then after you start moving in it, which is a whole nother world, you know what I mean? You learn to get to it, but then it's a whole nother level of where you have to learn how to ground all of the elements. That's what it talks about. You have to learn, you know what I mean, when to take your time to go back to yourself and continue to feed yourself, right? By doing that alone, you become, or you have to learn how to stay in your Empress, but as well as your Emperor, right? Because you're doing that. So that's those four. If we go back to the iron, that's the four. It's really going back to it again. They're described in it, right? So this is, again, reaching out. So that would be your, reaching into your mind, right? Reaching into your heart. Putting it into the world. Get it? Right? A balance of the divine masculine and the divine feminine. And then you go into that. After you do that, you become the elder, which is considered the Hierophant. Now you've become a teacher of your understandings, where you've become pretty wise in it. All right, and that's the union. The union comes is when you've mastered your divine masculine, which is your body and your mind, with your spirit, which is your heart and your intuition. That's the intertwine of the two, right? Okay, now, after that, the Chariot is about balancing the dark and the light. It's about that. Is you know what I mean? Harnessing two very strong forces together in unison. That's what this is all about, dude, is because your darkness is its own unbelievable power. Your light is is unbelievable power. Your masculine can do all great things. Your feminine can get all things done. But bringing them together, there's four. It's really four, because you have a dark and light to your feminine and to your masculine, which I've shown you. That's where you need to learn your strength, right? You need to learn how to use your strength, taking your time to go in all the time. All the time is about going in, only to go out. Right? And that's understanding the interconnectionness of when you're inside, you're still part of the outside, and being pulled apart is still very important part, right? That's the balance of everything. Is like, okay, you know what I mean? That's when your outer world balances with your inner world, okay? A lot of that is you spend a lot of time in a hanged man, like, you know what I mean? Now your mind is trying to move with your heart, but your heart is waiting, and it's a lot of, which way do I go? Still letting old parts of you die, right? You got to let the old shit shed. It's going to take a lot of, you know what I mean, balancing. Because there's parts of you, you know what I mean, you don't let go of your darkness. You never let go of your darkness. That's what I said to her the other morning. She woke up angry. I was like, that's meant for someone, but don't hurt everyone with it. There's a reason we have that energy in us, that fire. We're ready to spit fire. We have that dragon. I woke up with it the other morning when I went to work, and I didn't know. I almost spit it at everyone, and then I spit it at the right one. And that's really your devil side. That's your dark side. It's like harnessing your darknesses. It's like, you know what I mean? Knowing when and where. Like right now, I got this guy real good. I was like, Taz is like, what you out here doing? What was that all about? I was like, well, he told me to move my fucking dog. And my dog don't bother nobody. And he's like, you need to move your dog. I said, why do I gotta move my dog? He's all, because I'm scared of dogs. I was like, then don't bring your scary ass up here. He's all, bitch, I'm gonna have my girl come over here and whoop your ass. What? I'll whoop your ass my damn self. If you don't take your scary ass away from me. I was like, I'm about to snitch you out. You about to put, you threatening violence? You threatening violence? You threatening violence? This is what I told him. I was like, I'm going to snitch you out. And I went out to the front. I was like, snitch him out. They're like, call the police. I was like, I'll light a fucking candle. Fucking police. Call the popo. So everyone says, call the police. Just call the police. What the fucking police gonna do? I saw them fucking assholes. Anyways, going back to, once you face your darkness and shit, you start facing realities. Oh, the truth comes out, right? The lightning flash of truth breaks down the structures of lies. And you're like, oh, in this whole big old mess, but then the star comes out and you're like, you see a glimmer of hope. Like, all right, it's gonna be okay. I mean, where we're supposed to go from here, we gotta go somewhere. We're just gonna follow the star until another beautiful day. What do? Go back to yourself. You're always going back to yourself, dude. Because everything's inside. You go outside and it just gets so overwhelming and frustrating. And you're like, what am I going to do? You go back inside and all the answers are inside. And then you're like, okay, it'll be bright again. It's dark as before. It's all about going in and out with the flow. Right? There you go. Now you're reborn. Right? You went through all these dark days. Now you're being reborn. Right? And now it's over again. And this is where we are. We're at the rebirth. Right? We did the transformation. We went through a bunch of deaths. We're transformed. Now we're at the rebirth. Okay? Okay. I just wanted to walk you through that. And then we'll do what? We'll walk through the cards again, probably. If we start with an ace, I'm gonna laugh in everyone's face. Why? Aces are all new beginnings. I circled that. Didn't you see it? I took notes. Are you taking notes? All right. And you're like, and yet I'm a terrible tarot reader. I can do everything but tarot. How funny. I have my limits. Okay. With the circles opposite, such as day and night, summer and winter, God and goddess, are not absolute, but each gives rise to another, reconciled in the circle of unity. And that's what it is. We've all been gods. Right now, your goddess is awakening, and I'm here to walk you through the dark goddess. As I walk, you know what I mean? My very first incarnation and all of my dark goddess forms, as I walk them back to the light. I walk everyone with them back to the light. It's really what happens. But we got God inside of us. He's always been there. Right now, what you're getting is your goddess side, which is your feelings, your intuition, all of the little magic he gave to his little girls. Ugh. All your feelings, bro. It's all in your feelings. In essence, Jesus was a god and a goddess. Gabriel is described as male and female. Most of them are. In the essence, you know what I mean? It's not gender specific. We just put on gender bodies, gender roles. But in essence, I've shown you over and over and over and over. I'm more masculine than I am feminine. That was the whole awakening, is breaking into my femininity and my feelings, my intuitions, my, you know what I mean? My true essence. That's where we're getting you guys, is to your true essence about your feelings and how things work. So you've always been a god, meaning you can always create and shit, but you're creating from distorted places, which is nothing more than your flesh, the programming of your mind. Now you're working with your goddess, which is your heart, the divine awakening, right? The divine feminine awakening that I'm here for. That's in my freaking intro. Yeah, intro. Let's go. but each gives rise to another, reconciled in the circle of unity. This is a card of perfect harmony, happiness as you connect to the universal flow of life. I saw something beautiful yesterday I wanted to explain to you guys. How do I explain meridian lines? Right? These are these invisible flows of energy that flow all over. Okay, I saw something beautiful to show you. I got her. Wonderful. Congratulations. I don't know if you can ever see this anywhere else, but anybody that's ever seen snow, a lot of you have seen snow now for the first time. Congratulations. Now, when the snow falls off of a car on a highway, like off of any car, it falls onto the floor and it does a swooshy right in front of you. It's really cool to watch. It does these cool swooshies. Everybody knows what I'm talking about, right? You see it come off of a semi and it hits the ground and it does these amazing swooshies. Those are just some of the meridian lines. You're like, no, that's airflow. Yeah, same thing. And I tell you all the time, you'll catch it like a fucking like a fart in the wind. The flows of energy. So there's ways you can see it, is what I said. I was able to find a way to show you these flows of energy that you can't really understand, which is, they're not timelines. A timeline is nothing more than an orbiting planet. You can jump onto other timelines, but you're going in a circle. So, in essence, every time I go back to Marshall, we're going on the same fucking timeline until you jump on another timeline with me. Every time I'm in your energy, we're in the same destiny. It's destined to go this way, bro, unless you make a change. So that's why I be changing lanes. They say stay in your lane, but your lane is destined to go in a fucking circle, bro. Your destiny is going to lead you right back to where you are. Did you learn it? Only when you learn it can you take a different turn, and go a different direction. But you're going the same direction every time, every year. They're on the same fucking route to destruction, if you would. Meaning they're going to learn the same fucked up lessons no matter what they think is going to change. The fucking scenery might look different, but you're still going in a circle jerker. You're going to come right back to where you started, and the question's going to be like, why am I always here? Because you didn't leave anything and go anywhere new. Douches. But as far as the energy, yeah, you can get flows of energy that inspire or destroy you, depending. You know what I mean? Imagine. It's just flowing. That's how it flows. Okay? It's talking about the flow of life. Where was I? Brings health and vitality. It marks a great achievement, never a small one, accomplished by the right action, patience, and wisdom. All that you have strived for is yours. The understanding gained through experience may now be used to help others in your inner purpose aligned with your outer life. Though one cycle has completed, another one is about to begin. For the universe's constant dance of change, fluctuation, movement, decay, and renewal. Meaning, even though it's all over, it just means we're about to start all over. And that's everything. I'm here to teach you that over and over again, is endings are new beginnings. I am the goddess of, the triple moon goddess. Life, death, rebirth. Life, death, rebirth. Go figure, I am reincarnated, which means I've already died a lot of times. Realistically, I will die again in this life, and you'll see me reborn in this life again. It's in the fucking Bible. I died twice this time. Are you serious? Well, I mean, I die every day if you think about it. But no, my physical body will shut down for 3 days, and then I'll come back. I'll be like, what? I know that 3 days is a lifetime, bro. I'll be gone for a long time. I can do a lot more with my life than just sit around with you guys for 3 days. Time and space. In the sense of, you know what I mean? Oh, woe is me, but trust me, I'll be back. I'll be back. It's in the fucking Bible. I don't want to talk about it. It's stupid. The witnesses. I come back. Whoop-de-whoop. All this great stuff. I mean, I know you guys only got one life to live, supposedly. Oh, God, I can't help but see this. Do you see this? Pay attention. I'm going to share a short later tonight about it. This guy captured it. This is us without the form. I've said it a million times. This is me. This is me. This is you. This is all of us. This is us. Before we crawl into the fucking form of something. This is us. Last night, I caught a video of it. It made me just filled with so much joy and tears and unbelievableness. A man was in a freaking, it looked like a wine field, and he caught it. And he just kept getting closer. But why didn't he reach out? He was scared. He doesn't know what it is. I knew immediately it was a soul. It was just without form. It was so beautiful. It was just me. It was like looking into a mirror. I was like, oh my God, it's me. I mean, it's not. Who are you? I can't tell because you don't have a form. Can you speak? I couldn't feel it. I was so excited. This is what we are. But we put on some skin. But this is what we are. And I got a beautiful video of it I'm going to share later tonight. This is what we are. Sorry, I just looked at it. I was looking at this one while I was reading, and I was like, that's what we are. We're just a beautiful star. We're just a fragment of light, of God's light, here to shine light. But we wear this dark skin that's filled with all this darkness, and it's hard to shine. The reversed universe suggests that you often come close to completion, but lose focus or take the easier path, fail, or abandon the project altogether. This can apply to your spiritual life as well as your mundane. We talked about it, guys. It happens, and that's why nobody is like me. You're not alone in giving and stepping back. But you don't want to stop because you'll lose your momentum and have to start all over. That's all that means. It just means you'll have to start all over if you take too long of a break. Your muscles, you know what I mean? You'll have to retrain yourself. And that goes back to intuition. There's like these cool channels where you can test your intuition, where they'll show you like 4 blank things and say which one's red. And you're supposed to know right away. You're not supposed to guess. You're supposed to know. You know what I mean? So you can work on that and stuff. But ultimately, yeah, like we were talking about, all of my boys and then Wolfman too. It's like you're like, okay, I've done enough. It's time to go do me. You're always doing you when you're doing spirituality. You must ask yourself what fear or blockage causes you to choose failure. I mean, I hit them with their best shot. Each of them, I put the mirror right in front of your face. And the first time I spoke to Wolfman, I told him exactly what his shadows were. And he needed to fix them. But his shadows were the same as my shadows. So it was a mirror for the both of us. In the essence, karma is so fucking real in my life. So every time I tried to project on him, I ended up in spiritual court, facing my own fucking atonements. Right? Oh, you want to point fingers? Look at you. And I just kept laughing. And then I was like, oh, sorry. Sorry. Going back to it. So it's like, you get to the place where you have to take action. And it's like, okay, no. And that's what I mean. Marshall was all good until I tell him what he's got to do. He's watching everybody not be able to do this. He's watching everybody not to be able to give up. They can't give up the things they need. I was like, it's so simple. Do you see this, right? They're just fucking wieners. Like, they won't walk away from simple shit. Until I got to him, and it was like God asked him the same thing, to give up his whole life, to give up his friends. His friends are his whole life. And to step away from his music, to step away from work. They did the same thing to everyone. Give up something and step away from work so I can work on you. Every single one. But when I got to him, that was the end of his, okay, we're done now. I'm going to go back to work now. What? The real work is just starting. They said you're ready. It's time to walk away now. They're ready to take you. They couldn't do shit with you until now. Now they're telling you it's time and you're telling me it's not time? Fine, whatever. You're on devil time is what they say. No, just kidding. Anything worthwhile is not achieved without dedication, patience, challenge, hardship, and courage. And I've told him that a million times. Don't get fucking mad at me for Kobeing you. This is what I'm supposed to do. This is what he taught me to do. This is what we do. Who's going to tell you to be better, bro? Be fucking better, bro. Be fucking better. And then going back to yesterday, it's like, how many times are we going to show him that his friends ain't shit before he, makes that choice? It's not easy, bro. The action. Taking the action in it, because once you do this, you have to stick to this. And you don't know what this is going to entail, and you're scared of this. Yeah, I know. But, I mean, you got to do something. Or just keep doing fucking nothing and keep going in the same direction of nothing new. Nothing new. Same old, same hoe. Where do we go from here? What's our spiritual work in hand? The sun. I told you. The brightest days. These are the brightest cars. So, in essence, it's a sunny day. It really is, though. I got up and, even though that shit was all in my face, I knew it would be okay. I took a shower. I put my hair up. I'm, feeling good. I'm going to have a good meal. I still have other things to do. We're going to go pick up the kids' glasses, make some dentist appointments, do some other shit with our lives. The life goes on. I'm not stressing fucking the little shit. The sun is the light that comes after the darkness, signifying a positive outcome after struggle. Things may have not been as bad as you feared, and the phantasms of fears may have melted away with the dawn. That's it. I woke up before the sun came out and saw that message. I was like, oh, God. And then I said it in my post. I was like, God's going to figure this out before breakfast. The sun is a kind of rebirth that assures you that the dark days are over. And that's really it. You know what I mean? Here it comes down to, I can pay all this off and finally get back to zero and just paying this car and get back to it in the next week. You know what I mean? In the sense of, I took 3 hard weeks. If they asked me what happened, I had to work really hard at my other job that I couldn't work Lyft, which is really 3 hard-ass weeks. You know what I mean? From Christmas to now, oh, fuck, maybe a whole month. Really fucked me up as far as shadow work and, you know what I mean, going through death, transformations, and rebirths to where it's finally like, okay, I can really see the light. Literally, all I gotta do is do these couple of days, pay off this fucking car, and now I'm back to putting money in my pocket. I've got her for the next, today, you know, all the next, I'm still making money every day off of that. You know what I mean? All of this is about to be cleared up. And then the next thing is, last night before I went to bed, all I was visualizing was my trailer. I was visualizing getting one and then remodeling it. I was like, how would I remodel it? Just take one piece at a time. One piece out at a time. And that's how you would know how it's built. It's like, that's pretty smart. But that's all I was thinking about last night before I went to bed was my freaking trailer. That's it. That's it. It's like we're moving on, you know what I mean? We're going to keep going with this. The music is a beautiful thing because, again, I always knew it would, you know, they always promised me we'd come back, we'd circle back to this when it was time. I knew it was always there, and just to see the light that the time is coming is, wow, that's amazing. And I'm excited about it. Who knows what'll, you know what I mean? I'm not creating. I go with the creation, with God's creation. So it's only going to be the most masterful creation. I just get to be part of it. So I'm excited about, you know, the beginning. I'm right at the very end. I like it, you know, it was a little dark today, and then we're going to pay all this off. I've got energy. I'm going to get it back to work. I'm not, you know what I mean? Things are not emotionally so fucked off right this particular moment. We do have shadow work coming on Friday like we always do. But I feel like it's good. And the second thing I wanted to point out to everyone is I know that I'm going to take a break. I know it. I felt it. I've been asking about it. I was like, I know we take a break pretty soon. I said it a couple weeks ago. It happened last year, right in the middle of the Super Bowl. They told me to get online. I did some reading, and then I made an announcement that I was taking a break, and I'd be gone for, I think it was like 2 weeks or some shit. So I believe that's coming up. If we're following the same, you know what I mean, the same trajectory and patterns, then I'm probably going to take a 2-week fucking after the Super Bowl. Or maybe not, if we've changed timelines. I'm just saying, I feel a fucking break coming up. When the sun comes out, he brings hope, success, passion, enthusiasm, confidence, youthful energy, health, and abundance. And that's what we were looking at last night. It's supposed to be in the 60s, but then it was going to drop. And that's what I said. We lived here. I was like, you're a native, right? She said, yeah. Or she's, well, not completely. She's like, pretty much. I was like, then you know, we get to 60 and then it snows. She's like, you're right. I was like, you know what I mean? Don't get caught up having to worry about buying weekly hotels and all this. It'll work itself out. But in the essence, it's warming up while we're still here, only for it to cool down. And that's that brightest light. You know, that's Beltane, as we were reading about. This is your day in the sun. It is a time for fun, creativity, self-expression, and enjoying life. And that's all I had to hear. Go pay your bills, and then, you know what I mean, take one more day to you, and then get on with yourself. The hardships you have endured have given you new insights. Things that were obscured became clear, and everything falls into place. While the moon's gift was inspiration from the unconscious, and that's where I've been in my moon energy. I've just been doing subconscious wound healing and all this bullshit. In essence, I have not been in the real world. That's when you're in the sun, and your masculinity is putting a lot of real world work in there. But we weren't called to do such things. And this is just a break. The sun comes out in the middle. You know what I mean? This is the halfway point. We still have many dark days ahead of us in this sense of winter. We have some more to go through before it's a fully sunny day. The sun symbolizes the conscious and mind prevailing over fears and illusions, which I'm there, clarity and intellect, philosophy and science, while the moon requires passive surrender, meaning I've just got to go with this. The sun is active, beaming its radiant energy into the world, and that's where you sit outside and you're like, I'm ready to get out, I'm ready to do some shit. But you can't if your insides are not feeling right. It doesn't matter. You can't, you know what I mean? You're going to cook a raisin. And you can't get wine out of a raisin is what I saw. The sun is active, beaming radiant energy into the world, a bright flash of enlightenment, bringing about transformation. This is a higher level of consciousness that enables you to see things from beyond your individual awareness. Meaning, you know what I mean? God's got to take care of all of us, not just me, and everything will be okay, you know? It is the light in your soul that connects you to the soul light in other beings. That's that interconnectedness. The more work I do on myself, the more I'm connected with everybody else. It brings the realization that life is not mundane drudgery, but spiritual and internal, meaning the shit that's going outside is not really important. We just do the important stuff is what we're doing spiritually inside. Internally means, you know what I mean, where we're how much time we're sitting with ourselves and dealing with ourselves instead of dealing with all of the outside world. And that's what I told Taz yesterday. She was a whole pain and she was all going through it. She was really upset and then she ended up being really sad and just wore out. I was like, you need to take a day for yourself. She ended up literally sleeping all day. She actually slept. She's like, bitch, I forgot to get the kids. I was like, sorry, but and that's why I was like, I told you God would take care of them. I was like, she did. My mom got them. I was like, that's cool. But she stayed in bed all day and just took care of herself. And that's it. It's like, you know, she knew she needed it and she needed someone to tell her and she just did. And everything was okay. Everything went on. You know what I mean? She just felt better. And that's all you can do sometimes. It brings the realization that life is not mundane drudgery, meaning it's okay to just not take today for yourself. And how many? As many as it takes. And that's what God was trying to show you. He took, you know what I mean? He takes your days, but because he wants you to do something better with your day. It's his day, not yours. He's given you the day. And he's given you work for that day. It's just not always outside. Right? Reverse meaning. And that's what it is like, why did I get behind in my work? Because I had to do my other work. What's your other work? I'm a spiritual healer. So I had to teach people how to go into some very deep healing during this holiday season. We had to really dig into, you know what I mean, codependent relationships and our relationships to family and ideologies to this actual non-religious holiday. And all the freaking, you know what I mean, all the materialism that comes with it. Then we had to jump into the fact that it's a new year and now we have all this pressure to be a new person and find new love before February 14th. I have a lot of work to do with myself and others as far as the reprogramming or reframing of what we think we need to be doing with our time and energy. So I didn't have the time and energy to give to lift. And that's me being able to put it into words. What the fuck have you been doing with your life? Well, let me explain. You know what I mean? I know it doesn't look like I've been doing much to you, but I'm doing a whole lot of shit. And while I'm teaching this, I'm teaching it to 2 teenagers that are going to take it on into their worlds. Oh, you don't celebrate Christmas? No, let me explain. My mom's this whole witch, and it's all her fault. She doesn't believe in Christ? No, she's a whole Jesus freak. Tell me more. All right, the reverse sun is still a positive card, but some clouds may appear in the sky. It can suggest a simple, happy time, such as a holiday, but suggests that there are some niggling worries in the background. The light is not as bright as it could be, but maybe you are feeling that you are in somebody's shadow, or perhaps you've lost some of your enthusiasm and joy for life. On page 169, balance and new beginnings. 69. What's the outcome, Holy Spirit? Oh, man, I told you. It's a full balance, bro. Do you see it? I told you what the cards meant. Your divine masculine and your divine feminine comes together as a whole. So even though we're going to go outside and play today, we're going to have to come back and do introspection tomorrow, which is pretty much the truth. What is tomorrow? Wednesday, Mercury. We're going to have to do a lot of that on a Mercury day. It's so stupid. Anyways, I just want to point out this is the card. I just want to point out that these are like pretty much completely in order. Like I showed you. It goes from the moon to the sun. Then you have your rebirth, and you're done. But then we got to start all over again. It's just a fucking circle jerking bullshit. Anyways, let's start this bullshit all over again. On the path of initiation, the moon speaks of knowledge attained through divine madness. Well, that's where I'm at, for sure. It was madness. And inspiration from the unconscious. As the moon is a mirror that reflects back your inner world, it can be distorting one. The power of imagination can be used creatively or to terrorize you with fear. That's it. That's what I talked about. Is like, you know what I mean? You're freaking out about what will be or what is or what wasn't, and what the fuck are you talking about? Shut your fucking mind up. Shut your fucking thoughts up, bro. I can hear your fucking thoughts. Can you speak? Can you think quietly? Stop thinking so much about nothing. That's it. What are you thinking about? I know what the fuck you're thinking about. Don't you tell me fucking nothing. Stop thinking. The moon can give you many gifts such as art, inspiration, spiritual insight, intuition, psychic skills, and visions. But she can also trap you with illusions, fantasies, self-deception, and madness. And that's that devil card, bro. That's that devil card. That's that distorted. Meaning, what are you working out of? Are you working out of your distorted? Because what's the difference between your imagination, which is all fairy tale, and your intuition, which is all creativity given through what has already been? The fairy tales are based on projections of control. The intuition is stuff that you would never believe, that you can't believe. Does that make sense? Your imagination will come up with believable bullshit. That's fucked up. Your imagination will come up, or your intuition will come up with shit that's unbelievable but positive and uplifting and light. Know what voices are talking to you. In a reading, the moon can indicate deception. Perhaps you are being deceived and all is not as it seems. Or you're letting your imagination run away with you. Just my imagination once again. I was listening to beautiful love songs, oldies. Dude, it was great all morning. Where the fuck was I at? I mean, that's where I was. Deceiving you and not as all as it seems is you're letting your imagination run away with you and deceiving yourself. This card often appears when you feel lonely and lost and the path ahead is not clear. Going back to my teachings of Sheila Nagig, you are in despair. You're in the place of lonely and lost. And your mind is deceiving you because you don't see anything, so it's telling you that everything is bad. Meaning nobody loves you. Nobody cares what you're going through. This is all going to blow up in your face. How could you ruin your life? This is all your fucking fault. It blames you because it's heard everybody else blame you. It only talks to you like its language. You just got to teach it a different language. I know this from the very beginning. Tree used to tell me, he'd see me, I'd call myself stupid and a bitch and you're such a fucking idiot. Why do you fucking do? I would talk so bad to myself. Like my thoughts came out my mouth so you could hear what I was thinking because I was talking it to myself. And it was really, really abusive. I was really talking to myself abusive. Why would I say such things to me? Because other people said things, so now my brain is repeating what it's heard and seen. Is my brain different from yours? Somewhat, yes. Somewhat, let's be honest. Mine cracked into a million pieces. How many? 7. But going back to it, it's telling you what other people have told you. And in those dark places, that's when people have told you those things, right? So when you're in a place and you don't know what to do, people usually condemned you and talked down to you, right? Why the fuck did you do that? Why'd you fuck this up? Why'd you do this? It's all your fucking fault. You're a fucking idiot, right? There's always somebody that has talked to us in such a way when we made a mistake. So when you don't know what the outcome is, your mind obviously thinks that you've made a mistake. It fears that you've fucked up, and it starts talking to you like the people that talk to you. You teach it to talk differently, but right now it's only heard what it's ever heard, which is everybody's negativity. And that's why we spend a lot of time, you know what I mean? Why do I think this way? Why do I speak this way? And you can go all the way back to someone that told you that said that fucked up thing to you. And you're like, damn, that fucking hurt me. And now look at me. This is how I act because of that. Let's try to work on that. And it's work. Knowing the problem, seeing the problem, healing the problem is one part. There's 2 parts to the 3-part strategy, and that's it. How do you get all of this? You got to move in that. You can do a lot of healing inside, but you have to move. You have to change your reality. This card often appears when you are feeling lonely and lost and the path ahead of you isn't clear. And that's it too. That's like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And then you start panicking and thinking the worst is going to happen. You don't. Your mind starts telling you that because of what it's seen. You don't really know that these things are going to happen. You just think they will because of it. Simple, I'm seeing my son. The first time I took him on a hike, it was the opposite side of Red Rocks. There's a big-ass mountain. It's a Dinosaur Ridge. And he's looking at it. First off, you look at these mountains, you're like, how the fuck are we going to make it up there? And then what's up there when we get up there? And as soon as we start, he's like, there's a bear up there. There's a bear up there. I don't want to get eaten by a bear. I don't want to get eaten by a bear. And like the whole time we're making all these baby steps, I'm asking him, well, why do you think there's a bear up there? And he is explaining me. I'm breaking his thoughts. He's got viable thoughts as to why a bear would live up there. I was like, okay, now why are we scared of the bear? What if we find one up there? Why is it going to eat us? Do you think it would eat us? Isn't there other stuff it could eat? Don't you think it's seen lots of people before? Why would it run near us? Do you know how to make a bear run away? Meaning we started working through all the fears, the logical and illogical. It's very logical for you to think there's a fucking bear at the top of this fucking mountain. I'm thinking it's Yogi Bear. You're thinking it's, the guy from the Reverence and it's going to eat us in pieces. I don't think so, dude. I think it's like, you know what I mean? It's Pooh Bear up there. But we're going to work through these fears. And that's just kind of it, too. The second good part is I could never make it up that mountain. Dude, I remember being the fattest I ever was, like 200, maybe even more. By the time I checked it, I was 236. So I could have been more. And I'm at the bottom of Table Mountain. And it just keeps going up like the fucking Utah mountains, bro. I'm like, dude, I am so fat and so out of weight, and I just need a cigarette before we do this. I'm serious. I gotta sit there and have a cigarette about it. It's gonna be hard to breathe. I know, I need to breathe. So I have a cigarette, and I'm like, I'm not lying. That fucking mountain, I can only take about 35 steps before I gotta chill for a minute, because the back of my calves, the burn is real. But what do? We take a break. It's hurting. Can you take more hurt? Yeah, let me just make this hurt stop for a minute. And so then you take a break, you catch your breath, you let the burn stop, and you go as much more as you can burn. And you can see there's these little markers along it that many people burn that bad. It's a fucking Burning Man's fucking walk. Anyways, you get up there, it takes you however long it takes you. And there's always these assholes that are running past you and riding bikes and pushing strollers. And they act like it's no fucking thing to them. But I promise you, bro, they're burning, but they've learned how to work through that burn, and they've trained their muscles to do such things. Because it wasn't so easy the first time or the second time. So the first time I was like, I'm never going to make it. We made it. I was very surprised. First time I went on Red Rocks, same thing, I'm with Lori. I'm like, I don't know, bro. It took us like an hour and a half, but we made it. I didn't give up. There was no way to give up. I got to get back to the car, which is on the other side of this fucking mountain. So I have to just keep going. I just need more breaks. I can't just be like, oh, go get the car. Send a fucking helicopter. I'm so fucking... There's fucking fatter people than me making this look good. I can't... People are watching me. I got to do this. You can do this. Just do this. So, the give up mentality and things look impossible and they look bleak and I could never. Those are all there. You just got to kind of push through it. You know what I mean? And in these moments of when you're in the dark and you're like, oh God, where am I? I mean, guys, I'm just a happy-go-lucky person because I've learned how to train it. And the happy-go-lucky is I'm happy that God's got everything and I can just be lucky. In the sense of on page 166, it's like, nah, bro, my life is not fucking at all complete. It's fully shattered and in a million pieces, but I can see that the pieces will come together and everything will be okay. And when you've spent so much time in the darkness and all you see is these little glimmers of light, as I told you, you got to go with it. Because like right now the sun is shining, but it will snow again. It'll become dark again and we'll have to face dark feelings and dark things. But you know what I mean? We don't just... You got to push through it. You got to push through this. And there's that inner voice. Mine was Kobe. And not just Kobe, though. I had lots of voices. I don't know what voices are talking to you. It's your spirit guides, bro. Okay? It often appears when you feel lonely and lost and the path ahead isn't cleared. This is a time to turn away from outward concerns. Don't worry about outside. And look inwards. Why are you feeling so fucking freaked out right now? You're triggered. You feel like you can't take on your outside world. What's going on inside? It can bring psychic awakening, insight, dreams, and visions, as well as nightmares, fears, and anxieties. Meaning we got to find out what you're fucking afraid of and what's freaking you out about outside right now. And that's the awakening. That's the insight. You're going to see it in visions and in your dreams. It goes hand in hand. You know what I mean? Meaning there's something outside that you can't face because there's something inside you haven't faced. Once you face this inside, you will find your empowerment and you'll be like, oh, it's not really, there's nothing really going on outside, right? Meaning there's a lot of moments where you create this chaos like it's the end of the world. Like, I don't know how I'm going to pay my bills. I'm about to get kicked out of my house. I'm going to lose my job. My boyfriend's cheating on me. All this shit. But that shit didn't bother you the day before. But it really bothers you today. Meaning you can't handle your reality today. Meaning there's something inside of you that you need to handle that's more important than your reality. And then you can get back to your bunk-ass reality, which is just typically your reality. Your boyfriend's always cheating on you. You're always one paycheck away from losing everything. The job ain't going to fire you because they done fired somebody else. And you don't give a fuck. You just got a little bit too much on you. And that was her yesterday morning. She's going to be fine. She's going to keep pushing. She's going to thug through this, but not right now. Right now, you need to care for you, and you're not going to let nobody. And she actually did. She let her boyfriend come over and care for her. That's nice. She's like, I woke up, he was gone. I was like, oh, thank God. That's some good shit. I love her so much. And that's what I said. I see myself in you. And it's beautiful. Because, you know, there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with me. We are just how God created us, and we are just, you know, godly-ass bitches. But we need to, you know, we need to let some love in and let some more love out and let God do some more for us than, you know, what we're doing. And that's it. The power of the moon cannot be denied, and the more you try, the stronger she will get. Meaning whatever's bothering you is going to bother you more and more and more. And that's where it says you go from Sheila Nagig straight into hell. You go straight in from these, you know, these ego deaths, these realities. And if you don't face them and change them, then you're going to sit in hell. And that's what I was talking about, dating these fucking douchebags. I'm not dating anyone. But the longer I stay in your energy, the longer I stay in a low vibration with your bullshit. And that's where I was like, I'm not dealing with your bullshit. I'm out of this bullshit. I love you. It's not like it's not like I don't love you. It's just I'm not going to sit here with you while you're wallowing in your bullshit and not taking action on your life. And you get to that place with people. You can give them, you know, the dead horse. You're leading a fucking, you know what I mean, dragging a dead horse. It's like you can lead them to water, but it's like, when are you going to do this? That goes back to fucking, you know, my roommate. Dude, you got a job. Now just go to fucking rehab. I live here. I'll take care of the house. It's 3 weeks. Go to rehab, bro. Just go to rehab. Acknowledge that you can't control this and that you need some help. We've all been there. We all need some help. I'll hold down the house. Just go get the help, bro. Just go get your help. Now look at him. He's fucking... Last time we saw him, which was way before Christmas, he was pushing carts and he was begging in front of fucking King Supers and all kinds of shit, bro. You were helpless then. Now look at what's happened to you because you wouldn't just admit that you needed some help. And that's what I mean. It's like, I'm not going to sit here with you while you're doing this and getting worse. You're getting worse, not better. I've given you all I can give you, dude. I can't fucking make you get clean. I can't clean you up. You got to clean up your act yourself. And that's kind of where it is. Allow your intuition to guide you, but be careful not to misinterpret its messages in the mirror of your desires and prejudice. And that's it too. You know what I mean? As soon as you start projecting on people, you start realizing, you know, who am I to blame you when I've got so much blame on my own fucking plate? And that's it. As soon as I start looking at you, it's because I don't want to look at me. Stop looking at them and look at you. Why am I even bothered by what you're doing? What you're doing has nothing to do with me. Why is this bothering me? Oh, maybe I need to work on me. And that's where it starts. It's like everything that bothers you outside means you're bothered inside. Go find out what's wrong with you. Nobody's fucking with you. Nothing's going on out there. All you do is go out there and it becomes chaos on you. So you got to go back and find out why you can't go out there and things bother you so much. The world just keeps going, bro. If we don't learn how to deal with it, it's going to crush us. And that's all this is. It's like, dude, every time I go outside, I want to fucking choke somebody. We need to deal with that. Because I want to go outside. Can we go outside? You don't want to play? You don't want to do nothing? No, people get on my nerves. Well, let's deal with how much of people can we take and what kind of people, and maybe go to different people or something. There's too many people here not to deal with people, bro. We don't have to be full people, but we got to deal with the people. We the people, you know, we're part of them fucking people. I don't know what God says. Ultimately. All right, reverse meaning. The moon reverse reveals deep emotional issues and anxieties as your imagination runs riot. Told you. You feel paralyzed by fear as you see danger and betrayal everywhere. But your problems are within your own mind. And that's what we were talking about in the Dark Goddess. Is like, you feel like everyone's out to get you. Like everyone's against you. Because you can't get shit together. You know what I mean? Because you're not operating at full status. So your mind is paranoid that everybody is judging you because your mind is judging you. Your mind is making you feel bad because you haven't have no control, and then it starts telling you that other people are telling you that. Why? Because of what it's seen. Are people judging it? Probably. Is it really helping though in thinking about what they're thinking about you?
Yeah, Mom.
Amelia catches me do that a lot. I'd be like, you know what I mean, don't bring attention to us. And they're like, they're already looking at us. What's the problem? Well, I don't want them judging us. They're already thinking. And that's where you have to get to. It's like, that's exactly what they're doing when they're looking at you. Why does it bother you? You know what I mean? Who cares what they think? Do you think what they think? Do you feel like you have to prove them wrong? Do you have to, you know what I mean? That goes back to a Trump supporter or non, depending on what side you're on. Do you want to convince us that your president is a great president and he's doing great things? Or do you want to go and convince these people that he's not your president and you don't believe in the things that he's doing? Why? Why do you have to push your beliefs and your thoughts on other people? Everybody has their own. You feel paralyzed by fear as you see danger and betrayal everywhere, but your problems are within your own mind. This card can suggest mental illness or a retreat into a fantasy world, meaning you're getting lost in the darkness of your own thoughts. You may feel especially psychic at the moment or think you are experiencing dreams and signs, but you're misinterpreting or imagining them. There's a very thin line between psychosis and spirituality, and science has proven it, and that's why they gotta tread lightly and respect each other, because they don't know where it is. You can say that Albert Einstein was crazy, but there was truth to his craziness, because he showed that all relativity, which is solid ground, relativity, which is solid, which you know to be solid, is not solid. So in the essence of what you deem as mentally sane is not sane. He showed that in the beginning, right? But then there's those that it's like you can look at them, and that's where it goes down to, can you get away with, you know what I mean? Is this, and I always said it, I'll get away with it, dude. I'll play the fucking psych card real quick. Were you mentally incapacitated when you made this decision? A lot of those moments of self-reflection is, what the fuck was I thinking? Can we logically break down what you were thinking and it came to a decision? And that's why we look at these, these documentaries. It made logical sense why fucking what was his name? Jeffrey Dahmer thought that if he drilled a hole in this person's head and put a certain liquid inside of their brain that they could maintain them, going back to it, that they could maintain them at an unconscious level. Well, looking at science and your happy pills or your mental health pills, that's exactly what they're doing. They're taking a pill of a certain ingredient and trying to access it to a certain part of your brain to numb your consciousness. So Jeffrey Dahmer was trying to do it in full spectrum. He got his hands dirty, if you would say. Why was he doing it? Well, that goes back to Sheila Nagig. Desperate acts of codependency. He wanted attention. He wanted company. You told him that his sexual interest, his attraction to men made him a deviant. So he had to do those devil acts, as you call them, you know what I mean, in dark. So when he was doing it, after they would leave, he'd have to face the truth. Going back to Bobby, he'd have to face the shame of, his devil acts, as you call them. and he couldn't live with himself. So perhaps if they never left, then I wouldn't have to deal with the shame of them leaving. Could that be me in my sense of saying, leave your wife, and then I don't have to feel shameful about this? If you just left your wife and stayed here with me, we wouldn't have to feel bad. Did I fucking dig a hole in his head and plant a seed? No, I did it in his heart. Or maybe, maybe I went the other direction as the succubus. Just kidding. But ultimately, trying to give you some really twisted fucking metaphors, is we can look at this guy and say he was fucking crazy, bro. But then we can look at where he got his information and how he was trained and say he was on to something, but his intentions were all twisted. He was looking for a way to sedate the consciousness so he could, you know what I mean, so he could enjoy people's company. That's funny because science has been doing that since the lobotomy. If you didn't act right, they were finding a way to put you to sleep so that you could be like Harry Potter. I'll be in my room not making any noise or not pretending like I don't exist. Because if you don't act right, then it's better that you don't act at all. It's better to be seen and not heard, as I was raised in my house. So, again, in this weird, twisted place of you might think that you're psychic at the moment and that you're being given, you know what I mean, insight from outside of you, meaning God or the angels. But if this, in fact, whatever you're working towards is only to better your life, then I assure you it's not what you think. Because anything that God gives you is for the betterment of all. I just had to go real quiet. I'm just looking at it. Give me a minute. They're showing me, you know what I mean, with Bobby. I'm seeing it all, but I can't really put it into words. I can't put it into words. But it's basically down to the intentions, right? In the essence, he was just trying to... I don't want to say what his intentions were. Let's just go back to mine. They're just showing me this picture. It's like, was I out just to satisfy my own flesh? Was I out just to make myself happy? Did I think, you know what I mean, going back to this idea, like, was I really guided to go and do this? Yes, because it was empowerment to me and to everybody else. But in the sense of, it was also good for me and good for us. Because ultimately what happened was something that both of us wanted. Right? Did I do anything bad to get what I wanted? No. I wasn't in a place where I was harming anyone with my acts, even though I explained over and over, if I do this, then all of this is on me. No, none of this is on you. You're just putting all this on you. You're just putting all this on you. You want to feel that way. Nobody, blah, 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 blah. So I was set free in the sense of shame or blame. But now that I'm set free of it, what about you? You're going to have to face the shame and blame because you're right. This had nothing to do with me. I'm just pursuing love. What are you pursuing? And that's where it is. It's like you may have thought, or you may think that you're being psychic at the moment or think that you're experiencing dreams and signs. You are misinterpreting or imagining them. Meaning you think that your ideas are good ideas, but they're not given to you. You're just acting in your, you know what I mean? I don't know. They're just showing me that. It's hard. Like, I kept looking at it. I was like, I see it, but how am I supposed to put this into words? And that's what it means is like, this is going to be good for me. This is going to be good for me. This is going to be good for me. That's all pride, right? And then you want to keep it all to you and it's all secret. It was only good for you. And if it hurts everybody else but you. That's what I mean. Psychosis and psychic intuition, things that are given to you to divine are divine inspiration to inspire you and those around you, not to diminish you or those around you. God's not going to lead you into something that's going to destroy you and those around you, because he's ultimately trying to liberate you and those around you. So if you're getting ideas, that's not psychic insight. They're just ideas that float in the wind. And I'll be like, who the fuck thought about that? Where'd that thought come from? You don't act on every idea, every thought, because it's not about thoughts. What we think is just a programming. What we feel is usually a reaction to that programming until you really feel your way through it. So, going back to this, it's like this card suggests mental illness or retreat into a fantasy world. Meaning you're saying that, you're being divinely guided or you're on your path. I'm seeing Wolfman again. I don't know what the fuck he's doing. But he had an idea and he made it a whole reality. But this isn't really, and I told you this is not at all what God saw for you and you put yourself on your own trajectory, which is ultimate destruction. Because you're no longer in the spiritual path. Once you step into the spiritual realm, you're protecting. You know what I mean? The God works outside of you while you work inside of you. But once you're outside, just working yourself, meaning you're not protected. You're walking karma. You're a walking lesson to be learned. It's really dangerous. Meaning we go outside just to have an experience, to take that experience and gain wisdom and knowledge. But if you're out there just to, experiencing everything there is to experience about life and not gaining any wisdom or knowledge, you're not learning anything. You're just filling your flesh, is what I say about this. You haven't learned your lesson. You haven't learned one lesson. You're just keeping yourself busy, which Russ did for quite some time. I must say he's been kind of still. It's like, how are you gaining any knowledge or wisdom or expertise or understanding if you're just flittering from one, that's what I said, from one extreme to the next? It's like you haven't even took in what any of this meant, because you're trying to take in so much more, which is just consumption. You just want another fucking sticker on your fucking passport. You want another stamp on your badge to say that you've done some shit. But you didn't even know what it meant to actually do it. You didn't even do it. You know what I mean? You just went through it real quick and got this, a sign of approval from what? You went to all these countries, but what did you actually learn from those countries? Most of your posts were talking about, you got drunk in those countries. You drank the native drink. Well, think about it, dipshit. You bring a bunch of people to a fucking concert. That's all they are going to do. You don't step out of your hotel and go and meet the people and understand the culture of that your music is resonating with. Then you're only resonating with party fucks. And realistically, not too much, because again, going back to your album, is trauma. You're resonating with people's trauma. How can you say that you're well-traveled when you really don't know anything about the places you've been? Or the people, how they speak, how they think. You know what I mean? The hours of operation. You know nothing about the places you've been. You just say that you're a worldwide celebrity. You're not celebrated all over the world, my friend. And being celebrated for such stupid shit. That goes back to Marshall and his world tour. Okay. And there was no, he's not doing anything. He's just handling business as business is. This is typical business, bro. You make an album, you go on tour to promote the album, to get the sales up. Meanwhile, creating another album for the next run. This is stupid. You're following the same shit that every fucking artist does. Are you going to get a better result? Who cares? The results are in. It's the same bullshit. If the music isn't inspiring, who cares if you get a fucking reward for it? Put it on the wall with all the rest of them. It means nothing. Another great song. Top 40 hits. We'll hear it again in, whatever. Ryan Seacrest, end of the year, top 100 of this year. Grow up, guys. Seriously. In the sense of, I'm making music just to inspire. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about any of that bullshit. Anyways, let's pull a Kabbalah and be done. I am starving, dude. I am, super hungry. I don't even know what I'm going to eat right now. I'm so hungry. The martyr is on top. I guess that's what you guys are. Killing your own dreams with fantasy ideas of making it big and famous. It's not even worth it. To be known by who? People like you? Because when you come down here, nobody knows you, Russ. Marshall, they might recognize you. I mean, you're not really. Lewis, nobody knows you. You're just another fucking black dude. You're sexy black dude. Like, who the fuck are you? You're whatever the fuck you want to be, I guess. That's what I heard. On page 98 and 99, the Christ consciousness. Within the heart, the tremble is felt, and the calm breath gives way to the sharp intake of breath. All you desire seems about to slip out of reach. If you trip at the threshold, you are lost. For the imbalance is the force that can push you witlessly into useless annihilation. Martyrdom is a controversial state. Some people believe it to be the ultimate mark of faith, while others consider it to be a waste of life. The oracle suggests a rather different view than you are. That if you are a martyr, it is your own imbalance that has caused it. The game was already lost. You never even started the game. Maybe some religious martyrs simply decided to make their fall loud and crashing, sacrificing themselves to that end as effectively as possible. If you're going to die in this way, then you want your death to create maximum impact for your cause. And that's it, going back to suicides. It's like, I just want to die, and I'm going to take all these people with me for no good cause. I mean, in essence, why did they do that? To make a scene. But here we can safely assume that the martyr refers to a more usual state of being, not to a dramatic death. Don't be such a martyr is a common reproach, and suggests someone who is deliberately creating a burden for themselves. Here, as the oracle proclaims, the game is up. It is the last strategy in a losing battle. I mean, unless you want to battle again, the battle royale, it's a losing battle. I've told you guys this. At this point, the person had better withdraw, turn their attitude around, and try to come back out of it with a cheerful face. Although beware of smiling martyrs, for they are even more dangerous to themselves and others. If we can acknowledge our own disappointments and upset, then maybe we will not need to become martyrs. That loss of balance is when we try to pin the blame on others. You know, as much as you want to blame somebody for your lack of success, pinning the blame is just saying, why am I not as successful as them? It can easily be blaming that. You're giving them power, meaning I should be like you. Why am I not like you? Why are you giving them so much power? I just want to point that out. In the essence, Lewis, every single person except for Max, are exactly the same in Formula One last year. They all didn't win a championship. But yet they're all Formula One drivers. And they all have a chance to do it this year. Not all of them are going to feel like such losers every time they lose. And it's not about losing. And some of them accept that they're never going to win a championship. But they want to try to just drive. And that's what they're grateful about. They're all grateful that even if, you know what I mean, going back to some of the shit teams, you know, George Russell. All right, I'll drive this hoopty for as long as it takes. But one day, I'm going to be in a Mercedes. That's it. All of them want the same thing, which is a championship. But realistically, they find out real quick that maybe I'm not going to win a championship, like, ever. But I'm still going to race the shit out of these fucking cars. I'm never getting out of one of these cars. And that's got to be good enough. Because if you're always going to be disappointed about not winning, then you're never winning. Lewis is never going to be satisfied with third, second, first, fifth, 12th, nothing. If it's not, it's win or die. And that was kind of Marshall. If I don't win this, then I might as well just die. All right, you won. Now can you live, or are you going to do it again? You're going to spend another year dying to this bullshit. Like, how much more success wins the pat on the back? I'm seeing Kanye and Kobe. Kobe, if you didn't get them and just, like, smash them already, smash the brothers, be better. In the sense of, not your fucking music. Do something better with your life, bitch. Your music is never going to get better if you don't do something better with your life, bitch. Your fucking clothes, your fucking wife, your life is bullshit, bro. It's all because of what's inside of you. You got a lot of fucking healing to do, bro. It don't matter. You can't produce nothing good in your life until you fucking work on what's broken inside. You can't just put a fucking mask over your face and try to be fucking, you know what I mean, Mr. Hip Hop and shit. Fucking shit. Martyr. You're killing your own self trying to fucking be something you're not. Why don't you just figure out what you really are? Instead of trying to be like this guy, or that guy, or fucking another guy. We got plenty of these guys. Who the fuck are you? I told you who I was. I'm God. You're the worst God ever. Not really. I've seen worse. But going back to it, get your shit together. If we acknowledge our own disappointments and upset, then maybe we will not need to become martyrs. Meaning, you don't always have to... It's not about winning, bro. It's about learning. Understanding. It doesn't always come with a fucking trophy. Not a trophy wife, not a trophy husband, not a trophy car, not a trophy. It doesn't always come with a prize, bro. The prize is life. Nobody's gonna come, and that's Kobe all the time. You know what I got out of him, and what I always get, and now I love it, is this. No matter how hard, no matter, that's all I get. And do you know what that means? Do it again and do it better. When you realize that it's not about a prize, but it's about the experience. Meaning, yeah, he was capable of winning a fucking championship every fucking year if he had the right team. But he knew it wasn't just up to him. He knew he had to. He knew he had what it took. But it was going to take twice as much of him learning how to develop his team to get them on his level if we were going to do this. I need you to be as good as me. At least somewhat as good as me, because I can't do this all by myself. They won't let me. I could play all your fucking roles, but we still got to play together. So, in essence, he mastered himself. Only so he could, you know what I mean? It didn't matter how much he mastered himself. Every year he had to work with this team if they were going to master the situation, right? And so, in working, he mastered his skill, but the skill was to master working with those around him and pass on what he had to them in order for them to be as good as him so they could win together. Because he couldn't just carry teams all the way through the fucking championship. Can't keep carrying these fucking teams. I need you guys to carry your weight. How do I get you to carry weight? All right, I'm going to show you how to carry your weight. So we can carry this team together to the championship. But in essence, we didn't carry, okay, all right, we didn't make it to the championship. Let's see where I could have shown you how to better carry this weight. Because, you know, it's not all my fault. How can we carry this weight collectively? Where was it? In the sense of he could win a championship over and over, but each year he learned more about how to be a winner. Not about winning, but how to be a winner. What it meant to be a winner and how to put that winning in other people around him. It didn't matter how much he won. He needed other people around him to win too in order for him to win. Does that make sense? Like, yeah, you start the season, he starts the season, he wants to win. We're winning. Bitch, we're winning. I know we're not winning right now. We got a winning attitude. Come on, let's work hard. We're going to keep working. We're not giving up. We're going to keep winning. I don't care. We're going to win. We didn't win, Kobe. Yes, we did. Put the fucking videos on. Let me show you how many times we won. Look at, you didn't know how to do this. Look at how you mastered it. Look at, in the beginning, you sucked at this. Look at, you got it. It took us 13 fucking games. You got it. Now, next year, you get it tighter. And that's it. It's like, we won. They didn't give us a fucking trophy this time. They didn't see how hard we worked. I mean, they did, but they didn't, you know, there was people that worked harder. And that's where you have to stand back and realize it's like, I did everything right. They just did it a little bit, they just had it a little bit tighter than I had it. meaning we're going to tighten up next year. And that's where he spends a lot of time. It's like, man, I could get better. You did that shit good. I'm going to get better. I'm going to get better next year. In the sense of, it's not about me taking that trophy. It just means I'm going to get better. We're going to get better. We're going to get better. We're going to get better. And that's what he told you. That's what he told you, Kanye. He said, do better. Be better. It's not about winning. It's about being better. Getting better. Getting it tighter. Okay? Okay. A loss of balance is when we try to pin the blame on others. Recovering balance means recovering our true knowledge of the situation for better or worse. This card is about taking responsibility for our actions. This is about acknowledging the part we play in creating any situation that we find ourselves in. And how many times did he had to learn that he was playing selfishly? He's showing me that. I don't know. I didn't watch him play. I didn't watch his career. I only see what he shows me. He had to learn that he was being selfish, and in his selfishness, they weren't going to win if all he was worrying about was himself. Hold on one moment. Okay, I gotta handle something, but that's what he's saying is like he had to learn not to worry about just himself, that it was a collective win. He couldn't win just worrying about himself, is what he's telling me. I gotta run through this. I'm gonna jump all the way to the bottom here. Life task. You are on a threshold and you do not yet know if you can pass over it. Perhaps you will succeed. Perhaps you will lose. Be ready to accept the result. Whichever way it goes, if you lose, why waste useful energy mourning your loss and forcing others to acknowledge it? It is best to move on. Possible meaning: a complaint, a person who fears their problems or who forces their problems upon you. Uncertainty, vital emotions, which could turn negative if not restrained. Risk, the possibility of great reward and severe losses. A sacrifice, a lost cause, on page 99. The choice is yours, but you need to make some choices. Hey, I love yous. Laters. Bye.